What's up, guys? We have two copies of Sir Nick here. One on the live servers currently in his current version, and the other on the test server with his buffed version. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison to see how significant is this buff on Sir Nick. Both of them are equalized on stats. We can see here. If you can see here, it's a little bit shrunk down, but they both have 97,000 HP. They both have 305 speed. They both have 330% crit damage. They both have no relic whatsoever. They both have the exact same masteries, but they have different skills. So Sir Nick on the right has the additional text that says if Lady Noelle is on the same team, the chance to freeze is increased to 100%, and the debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. This doesn't change any damage. His A2 is really where things get especially interesting. So the new version is attacks all enemies, same as before, will ignore 30% of each target's defense if Lady Noelle is on the same team. Initial tests, she is not going to be on the same team. We're going to see how different the multipliers are before we add her in. It's now also going to play strengthen and the shield like before. The shield value stays the same as always. And then the A3 ability, this now is going to also place a counterattack buff on Sir Nick, and if Lady Noelle is on the same team, it's also going to give him a taunt buff on this champion for 2 turns. That's crazy. And then we have this passive, this new passive. He never had the passive before. Everything else as far as the aura stayed the same. But the passive, enemy ignored defense effects used against allies under shield are decreased by 30%. Bolster sets, oh, they're going to be sweet. Enemy ignored defense effects used against Lady Noelle while she's under a shield buff are decreased by 60%. It's crazy. So where we're going to go to test this, live server, test server, you can see the test server, well, it looks more Christmas themed. Now we're going to go to Dragon Stage 10 Heart, that's Spider. This aspect ratio or whatever looks a little bit weird, just completely stretched. Sorry guys, but I feel like this is just the best way to showcase it. So we're going to go to Dragon Stage 10. Actually, do I even need to do Dragon? No, he's a Void. I'm gonna go a little bit more free to play and efficient way. And we're going to go to Doom Tower, okay? I'm going to test this with and without Lady Noelle. We're going to go down to floor 1 on hard. I don't know if everything's unlocked on the test server just yet or not. Okay, floor 1 should be fine. Actually, no. Let's go to floor 11. Floor 11 should be a great place to test this. We shouldn't one-shot everybody. That's always a potential issue with these champions. And then after showcasing the damage, we'll jump into some arena, throw some teams together. But I really want to see how much his buff has changed his damage. The first test is going to be with no Noelle. We're going to see what kind of damage is done here. We're going to start with his A2 ability. That's going to be the best way to see the damage. We're going to back out of this, and see 219 versus 168. That is a pretty big spread there. Let's go ahead and do it again. So 219, 178. I'll take some notes as well. There is some plus or minus variance in these damage attempts, just always in raid. RNG is everywhere. This is 182. So previous hit was a little bit lower. This one was a little bit lower as well. So 182, 210. We're going to go ahead and do it one more time. This last one hopefully is a pretty good idea. Now it's not going to be 100% accurate because it can vary even more. 221 versus 177. So we're going to go 221 versus 177. Now as far as percentage, that's probably about 20% or so. Let's see. 177 times 1.2 put us at 212. 177 times 1.25, so a 25% increase would actually be 221. So I'd say it's probably about a 20 to 25% increase in A2 damage just from the multiplier alone, not even including the the ignored defense that's added when Noelle is part of the team. That's actually very significant. A 25%, 20 to 25% multiplier increase, potentially awesome. Let's go try his A1 ability. Has it been changed at all? We'll try it against Stagnite, both champs there, and then we'll see 37 and 38. So there's no changes in an A1 ability. It's exactly the same as before. Now, he did 221,000 on the high end. We don't need both Sir Nicks here. We can go back to just one Santa Claus on the screen. Got some Photoshop in the background there. But let's go ahead now. And on the test server, this is all test server stuff now at this point, we'll go Sir Nick, and then we'll go Lady Noelle, and we're going to see what the damage difference is when we ignore 30% of the enemy's defense. We just dropped one champion, which that overkill damage isn't going to be great to see. 394,000 damage. Oh my goodness. You guys can obviously, you already knew how much of a difference it is when you have defense ignore versus you don't. So having that extra 30%, is that what it is? Defense ignore from this A2 ability with Noelle on the team puts him in the threshold of actually being a solid potential HP nuker. Now, I haven't tested against everybody else, but that's really good. Original Sir Nick, it didn't matter if we had Lady Noelle or not as far as his damage goes, but this is really cool to see. We could pull up the old version of Sir Nick and show you guys that with or without Lady Noelle, it made no difference as far as his damage. She had some cool synergies, but he doesn't. So right now, right off the bat, it's about a 20 to 25% increase in his multiplier, which is pretty nice. And with Lady Noelle, it's going to be even more than that. What is this? Like a 50% increase, I guess? Actually, more than that. Is it a 75% increase? I don't know. I don't know these percentages that well off the top of my head. Let's go 1.75. I mean, yeah, it's about a little bit over that. So over a 75% increase. I don't know if percentages work. Actually, it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage he's doing now versus before. Like with Noelle, that is 177 times 2. What is that? 354. Over double the damage. That's pretty awesome. So now let's go in here. I built Lady Noelle to just function. She has a bolster set, so we should be very tanky. I feel like this is the way to run her now, whether you're going Stone Skin or Feral, or have somebody in the team with a bolster set. And then we're going to have Sir Nick. I don't have Lady Noelle just decked out and everything. She has Wand of Submission, no masteries. I don't really care about that. Sir Nick, let's go ahead and finish out his masteries. Remember, he didn't even have these fully complete. So now he's going to be even doing more damage. We just had some basic ones. I didn't want any RNG going on there, adding to the damage variation. I want to get some extra buff extensions. And now let's go to his relics. Now, as far as his relics go, he's an HP-based nuker. There is a relic that everybody wants to throw on damage dealers, but you cannot make sense with it on a HP-based nuker, really, because it only ignores defense if the target has higher max HP. And the chances of enemies having higher max HP than Sir Nick, with 97,000 HP only, is relatively common at my level. Most supports are going to have higher than that. But if you're pushing him to where he needs to be with like 110,000, 120,000, the chances of supports having more HP than that, kind of low. Now, Sir Nick does place a lot of freezes, 100% chance to place it as well. And I don't really want him to be getting frozen and stuff, so let's go Wand of Submission. It gives HP, it gives speed. Accuracy is not needed, but I feel like this could be a really solid one. And imagine if you were able to throw on some Bulwark things as well. We could get into some pretty crazy situations with him just being a disgusting champion to have to deal with actually killing. Now with Lady Noelle on the team, we could even go Undead Bulwark possibly, but I don't think it's going to be very useful. Let's try this one. Now, at this point, he is at, let's see, 102,000 HP. HP-based damage dealers, you really want to have them at 100,000 or more HP. They're kind of difficult to gear, but I'm hoping this works out fine. Honestly, I'm kind of on the fence if I want these speed boots or if I want HP boots. For damage, HP is the way to go. But as far as my gear goes, I'm not for sure if I have that level of flexibility. Maybe I do. Let's see. 106. I lose. I mean, this actually would be a sick build, but I only have 99% crit damage, and I can't do that. That is not where I want to be sitting. Let's go. Oh, we lose a lot of speed there. This is a good speed helmet I have on. 19. Let's see. If a weapon can fix it, we go the weapon, and then we rock the... Okay, that's not too bad, honestly. Not too bad. I mean, 3,000 HP down. 277 speed, that's okay. We'll rock this. We'll see how this plays out. His ring is really not great. There's more optimization to be done. Not for sure if that stone skin ring's even the best for me. But let's see. My best ring possible is going to be this. Oh, that is a nasty, nasty ring. But I don't think I have a banner for him. This is not time to optimize Sir Nick's build, but I kind of want to optimize Sir Nick's build. That ring is sweet. Do I have an HP banner at all? I don't. But maybe I get one eventually. Because that ring, Sir Nick is wanting that. Now, let's go ahead and jump into some arena content and see how he does over there. Actually, before I do that, let's show him in Spider. He used to be a champion who could solo Spider or could do really well in Spider with that huge shield. And I bet he could now solo Spider again. I don't see why he couldn't. He's going to be a top champion for soloing content. Honestly, I kind of want to, with Wand of Submission, also go Polymorph because I don't feel like he needs the Ward of the Fallen. I don't feel like we necessarily need... Lightning Cage could be really good, but I like to mix it up every now and then also. So we don't get no counterattack, nothing like that there. We get our unkillable counterattack, everything at this point. Now, with no Lady Noelle, we're not going to be doing the one-shotting stuff. I don't want to even sit through this fight, honestly. I am going to go in there and turn up the volume. Okay, yeah, this is going to take forever. This is boring stuff. Let's not do Spider. Let's go do some Arena. Most importantly, turn up the volume. Let's get this Christmas jingle in the background. Even if it's only for me, you guys may not be able to hear it. I have no clue. Let's click a team. Player 314869. I don't know what it is. Let's do this. And then where do we go? We're going to go Crixia because Crixia is sick. And Crixia is one of my favorite champs. And then from here, okay, we have a Lockout Champion. We have Noelle for tankiness. Let's go Leonardo because why not, right? I guess 9-piece Leonardo could be pretty cool. We could go Sacred Order team if you had the Unity Champion. That could be awesome. Let's go ahead and throw her in a bit different build. Tanky Resist. Yeah, let's do this. 422. We're going to go Tanky Resist on this piece as well. More Stone Skin. So we're just Stone Skinned out at this point. Let's go ahead and see how this is. Very tanky team. 9-piece protection Leonardo. Let's see if we can survive against the Taras. Honestly, imagine how Sir Nick plus Harima would be. If you could get a good increased defense champion here, oh man, you're looking at a pretty nasty team. Pretty nasty team. Now, Sir Nick, we can go ahead and place this. It doesn't really matter. They already did their strips anyways. So boom. Counterattacks. Big smack over there on that Yumiko. Obviously, they're kind of ruining my day with the whole buff and debuff stuff. Now, this ability will instantly activate his Goodwill skill, his A3. So that's going to be super annoying now that that's so crazy, basically. I'm going to res the Leo, freeze them. Doesn't do that much. Does do a decent amount of damage to Sir Nick, to be fair. Does do a decent amount. But we're going to go place increased defense and protected buffs across the board. Let's see what his A2 hits for. Not that much. We got melted from that Magma Shield. Magma Shield absolutely just destroyed me. That was some bad news there. And they also, I guess, stole some buffs. And they spread the buffs. Something like that. I don't really know exactly what happened, honestly. Let's see if Lady Noelle is anywhere close to doing her res again. Her res comes back like all the time, it seems like. We'll turn it on full auto, see what he does. We'll try a few teams out. But I do feel like Sir Nick is going to be much more usable now than he was before. I mean, he has more damage from that A2 ability. He has a good A3. I've seen people even using him before this buff went live with some pretty decent success. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Wand of Submission. And I think I'm about to get wrecked here. Actually, no. He's about to get wrecked. Lady Noelle makes this so much better as well. Go ahead and hit the... Oh, we got froze. That's not right. Kill us Odin. I mean, dang. But we do have this A2 ability from Noelle, which, if she stays alive, boom, cleanses him, Goodwill's activated, drop the Odin, problem number 1 down, and now he's just counterattacking, placing the freezes out there, which he does have a big chance of being frozen himself or polymorphed even potentially. Polymorph is kind of making a comeback. Heck, Life Harvest could even be a good blessing for him. I like having Life Harvest in teams. I like trying to work that in whenever possible. So maybe I do that. I don't quite have the A3 ready yet. See, Wand of Submission. You got to watch that. Get Wand of Submission left and right. Not that cool, unfortunately. But, yeah, we didn't do anything there. So, he's got enough damage to take him down, but you may still have to run with another damage dealer. Let's go into this team right here. Let's get Leo out of this setup. Let's go... Is my Harima built? Actually, no. I was going to go Embreeze, but... Nah, I'm not going to do that. Togron. You could use Togron for boosting the HPs and such. Let's do this for No reason other than giving it a shot, basically. See what kind of damage he does with the A2 against another team. The previous one was very tanky. I'm hoping this kills the Marius. If it doesn't, I may be... Okay, 47k? Not for sure. He's doing more damage than before, but that wasn't as much damage as I was hoping it was going to be. 47k. We got a lot of HP as well. He's not hitting Embry's level, but he does have cool synergies with Noelle, bringing more survivability to the team. So I'm leaning towards he's going to be a champion who's basically not going to be the greatest solo damage, but brings great utility. It's going to be like one of those utility type nukers, basically. Kind of like Carnage, similar to that. Maybe Carnage plus Sir Nick is a decent combo as well. Let's see how... this is not going to be... I mean, it could be okay, potentially. I need to try Carnage, though. I want to give him a shot. But basically, what I mean is that A3, the unkillable, running that could be very helpful for him. Just focus, like, having that as a big part of your kit, basically. Trying to get what I'm thinking through. Is Carnage in my Swift Parry build? He's not. Okay, so I'm not going to run him right now. Let's go... We could go Lazarius, potentially. We could go... Alaz is not built. Let's see how Harima is set up currently. I think Harima could make for a very annoying setup. We'll go this plus this. Now, she doesn't have any increased defense. Not from Crixia, at least. But she will make them not do much damage. So we'll leave it on full auto. We're going to get tons of poisons on me. Let's click the Nell over here. So Crixia, or sorry, Harima doing decent damage. Scaling it up slowly but surely. Okay, that was actually a solid hit. That was a much more solid hit there. And then we had the unkillable. We don't have it now, but we did have it. And I guess she's going to prioritize... Actually, no. She already used the unkillable. She already procced it, didn't she? Let's see what happens here. She prioritizes the red? No, I don't know what she prioritizes. She prioritizes the A2. Perfect. She prioritized the A2. He comes up. We all got unkillable. It's going to be hard to kill us, except for the fact that Nell doesn't care about defense or defense ignore stuff. That's also not really what needs to be done right now. We'll go ahead and try to freeze him. Froze him. I mean, that combo alone is pretty sweet. A2. 14. Oh, he has the Zibia's relic. That's what's going on there. The Zibia's servitude, which is why he's not taking much damage. Okay, I was like, Sir Nick just, what the heck happened? He just was useless for me. Continuous freezes. He doesn't have Wand of Submission. That's big. That's a good relic to have. Very annoying relic as well. Killer. Let's say you better kill her. 60,000 damage. That's okay. It's not like game-breaking, insane A1 ability. By no means. Let's try against this team. This is a good one. Got a nice fast team here. Another... Well, possibly fast team. We have another Crixia. He is faster than me. Do lock him out. Let's see if Sir Nick is able to pop off with some damage here. I want him opening with his A2, and then Noelle ideally proccing his A3. Okay. It's not like absurd levels of damage, which isn't necessarily bad. It's enough damage that we're killing the enemies and dropping them. They're not doing much damage to me at all. That's pretty cool. But we cleanse him, get the unkillable and everything up. So we're basically just safe from damage, more or less. All we have Enfeeble on me. Freeze the nice. That's a pretty big Marius too. Yeah, plus 3 6-star Marius, like, didn't do anything to my team basically. We get the unkillable back up. Constant freezes being spread. So this is pretty cool. I like this. Will he get my best HP Nuker gear? I don't see him replacing... is this another Zibia Servitude? It is. Another Zibia Servitude relic. On Nice, I mean, it makes sense. He's the craziest champion to have it on. We're going to go ahead and try to freeze him. And then, yeah, he has Chainbreaker too. Very annoying. 17k. He's not going to replace my, like, Embry's most likely. But if you had a 5-star Noelle that you're using a lot, I think he's an amazing nuker to throw in there with her. Let's see how this plays out. Got the lockout stuff. Now, if we want pure go second, we'd probably have a cleanser maybe over there. Could even run a Donatello if you wanted a slow go second team, but you really want a cleanser and like a way to get rid of negative effects that you may have on you. So we got rid of that. No damage being taken. Now his is limited only to when they have the shields up. If we don't have shields, we're not limiting any damage. Okay, 105k versus a Gizmac? That's not too bad. We do have a lot higher player power, so not for sure if he, or team power, so he may not be built. Let's go against Farbsoft's team. See how this plays out. Okay, everything's locked. Well, not really, because Crixie is not locked. She can swap forms and reset. Not a huge deal. Let's hit the Marius. 51k with the freeze. He has Stormcaller, so there's no problems with there's no worries about me getting Wand of Submission back. Polymorph could be cool for him, but he may end up just getting polymorphed himself from that. Because of Wand of dang. Big damage across the board, 227. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, guys, so I've tried this several times now, but what I want to see is if Armand's does the sheep to Sir Nick, Lady Noelle uses the A2, will it activate Sir Nick's A3 or will it not? That's what I want to figure out here. So do this, cleanse the sheep, it does activate that. That's awesome. That's actually huge. So now Sir Nick using the A1 ability and getting sheeped or getting frozen or whatever, specifically sheeped, is not really a big deal. As long as Noelle has her A2 ability ready, then she'll just break his sheep, and then he'll use his A3 anyways. And then as long as you don't use her A2 at the wrong time, then you should be able to have Unkillable up for a good portion of the fight, honestly. That's really cool. I like that. So now we're going to go ahead and use Sir Nick's A2 ability whenever he gets a turn. We do have some counterattacks to do here. We got frozen, though. I did have to remove his Wand of Submission for this, but it was something cool to see that Noelle does in fact cleanse and then activate his A3 ability. Cool. So Wand of Submission, I think, is the best thing for him. I don't think there's too much extra you could use. You could use Malefic Talon for more damage, but I feel like he's just going to get polymorphed or frozen or just controlled so much. We'll do this team again, and this time we'll actually try to get it done correctly. See, she got wanded that time. We'll go ahead and polymorph or provoke him, maybe. Let's go ahead and protect my team. We'll sheep the Donnie. Just kidding. We'll sheep myself. Gotta love the good old sheeps and Wand of Submission. There we go. Wand of Submission again. Donatello's wand never misses, apparently. Donnie's wand is always hitting me. Oh, we have wands working as well. Fantastic. Now, Harima's not going to be doing a ton here, and I think we're about to die. Maybe. Yeah, we're definitely about to die. If Leo has his A3 ability, it's over. May not, though. I don't know. Let's see. Sir Nick, activate his A3 ability. We're all protected. We live a few more seconds. Proc his Stone Skin. Steal some turn meter from a lot of the champs. Not actually the best thing to do, honestly, because that drops and we're in a tough spot. That A3 ability strips everything from you, basically. If he gets that A3 off, then we're dead. We do have a lot of damage mitigation from the shields being up. Big shield, too, from his ability, which is pretty sweet. Go ahead and sheep the Leonardo. And then try to do this. May proc his Stone Skin. Nope, just kidding, we didn't. Dang, his Wand of Submission is 100% land rate. I'm convinced. It does it again. It does it again. Wand of Submission everywhere. You don't know where the debuffs are going, where they're coming, anything about them. We're going to stun him. If he gets a turn, then we're good to go. But Sir Nick's shields are big. I mean, they're based off the damage he deals. So that A2 ability is just loading up the shields. Now, he did 262. Harima did 388. But either way, his new setup, I like it. I like his buff. I think it makes him more in the question. I don't think he's OP, top tier, the best nuker ever, by no means. But it does bring him in the conversation with HP-based nukers who could be used in content. And if you draft both of these champions, the good thing is You probably have champions who are bigger threats. Like if you had an Armons, if you had these 3 champions in your live arena draft, well, they ban Armons, you get this. They ban Sir Nick, you have this. They ban Noel, well, you still have another damage dealer, or maybe even 2, depending on your strategy. But I think this is a very strong setup overall. Now, if I wanted to go something a little bit different, let's go Lazarius. I do think you'll need 2 damage dealers in general, though. I think he kind of needs that. He's not doing enough damage to be by himself, I don't feel like. Maybe he is in some areas, but against these super tanky meta teams, he's not going to be enough to just solo damage them and actually do well, I don't think. We do hopefully res the Noel here. We get Noel, fantastic. And let's go ahead and trigger the Nice, maybe. No, we don't even swap the Nice's form. That's unfortunate. So, Nice, he has a lot of HP. We didn't trigger him to form swap, so we didn't do enough damage to do that. So that's not good. We got unkillable, though, so we're okay. Let's hit him there. 35k, so like, he's still lacking in damage. He still doesn't do crazy high levels of damage, but he brings survivability to your team. Kind of like what Harima does with the defense reduction. He's very similar. Granted, not to her level and as consistent, but with his kit, it does make sense, and it is solid. Heck, Lazarius is doing more than the other champion was. Let's see. We'll maybe freeze him. We got the freeze. Hopefully Chainbreaker doesn't cleanse that. But the bird is frozen standing up. Exactly. Perfect. All of them's frozen. So we got a lot of freezes out there. That's cool stuff. And then boom. We'll go A2, I guess, here. We can go the unkillable. Why not? 61k. We'll sure do this. Heal him up some. Activate that unkillable again. 25k against that. I guess that Nice maybe just has like a lot of protection or something. Because we hit the Crixia for a decent amount. We're hitting the Nice for nothing, basically. That unkillable is really cool, though. I do like that a lot. 90. No, we're hitting a lot with Lazarius. A Dagon Zibia's Servitude again. What is this craziness? A max one at that. Test server is just full of... Wait, what? He does have 100% crit rate, right? Yeah, he does. Okay, cool. Well, either way, that is Sir Nick's testing. That is how he's doing. I think he's got a solid buff. I think he's more viable than before. I love the taunt. I actually kind of forgot about the taunt. I love the counterattack. His passive is pretty sweet. His A2 is stronger. The strengthen is nice. And overall, very nice champion. I think he could have some cool synergies with Androck as well. Not for sure where you would use these champions together, since Androck is defense and support. But it could be some cool live arena setups if he's going really fast. Maybe he can just have, you know, tons of resistance on the team. Who knows? Either way, that's Sir Nick. Hopefully you guys like that side-by-side comparison. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of Sir Nick. Is he going to come out of your vaults? Are you going to use him? Are you going to purchase him from the token trader? Because he is technically available for free, or at least achievable. Like, you have to have gotten the legendaries to break down, but anybody could get him. Is he worth it? I don't know. Is this going to be his final build for me? No. I'm going to try him out some more on the live servers and live arena, all that kind of good stuff. I do think that he's solid enough that I will be trying him and Noel out in some different areas and different content. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.